Okay, so let's go go to the pretty quick homework. So yeah, I keep saying right. So okay, luckily it was not deleted. So you should not delete any user story. Okay, somebody change the parent. Okay, parent of this user story. You cannot do that. Okay, again, well, this is what I keep telling everyone. You cannot mess up with user story. It doesn't belong to you. Its user stories are for business analyst, not for a tester. As a tester, you just have to look at it. You'll not even have access, write access and nothing, on user story. You just have read access. If you are messing up with the user story, then you are actually messing up with yourself. Okay, because you're not allowed to do anything here except to view this, because to change anything's owner or project in the user story is not allowed. You're not a BA. Unless you're going as a BA, you can do that. Okay, but if you're not a product owner, so you're not allowed to change anything. Just make sure you guys remember it, because again, somebody was trying to do homework, and the user story was removed from it. See, I keep telling this, from so many batches. I'm not sure how many people understand that, because if you're doing that at the work, it will be very serious. Okay, you cannot do anything with the user story. I hope you guys understand it. Okay, because if you are doing at work, then it will be more serious than just So never change anything in the user story. You can do with your test cases. If you have created your own test cases, you can delete your test cases. That's fine. Okay. That's a different story that your boss will ask you where are the test cases, but you are responsible for your work. But you cannot really delete any someone else's work. That will be a bigger issue than you are doing your work alone. Okay. So just don't remove any user story. Okay, that would cause a lot of problems for the team, and they figure it out who has done it. You know what? Let's show you, right? Who in real time they'll figure it out who is done what. So this can everyone can see who has done it. Okay, because here it shows your name. Here in this scenario, everything is in my name because you are using my access, but in real time it shows just your name. Somebody change it, and who this, that's it. And we'll catch you outright. So I keep telling this, okay? Just don't remove anything. It's nothing, user story is nothing to do with a tester, okay? That's the reason I'm not doing homework on user stories, because it's not your job. Okay, you have nothing to do with the user story. You just need to read, that's it. So again, this is the no problem. Somebody is trying to do the homework and was not able to do it because user story was moved. Okay, so better don't do it in real time because it will create a lot of problems. Okay, so here, now let's see here, few people have written. Okay, so it's good. So when you can write some information here, like saying that successfully executed, or it's all the test cases are executed. Okay, it's good. Okay, this is good. It's better. Yeah, if you found any defects, yeah, if you just find error, right? So you cannot upload any document until you fix it, right? So that's okay. Okay, if you're not, if you, you cannot upload document because the verdict is failed, right? This is failed. So when the test case is failed, of course you will not have document. Only you can put if it is passed. Okay, that's good. So it's, you should have executed this test case. Writing the test case is not enough. You have to execute it. Okay, once you have to execute it, then you have to upload this document. Okay, so here it didn't execute the test case. Okay, okay, it's good. Okay, you're good with test cases. Test cases are good, but you have to also execute this, which you have to use this one. Okay, okay, that's fine. So I hope people got some idea on writing a test case. Okay, that's good. Now we just move to, and the people who are not able to complete it because user story, somebody moved it user story, so you can complete it later. Today or tomorrow whenever it's free. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the defect module. Okay, so here let's say your test case was failed. Okay, your test case was failed, and you have to open a defect. Okay, now again, coming back to the same thing, just because you found some defect doesn't mean it's a defect. Okay, you have to coordinate. You have to coordinate with the lead, saying that just like screenshots and the screenshot, tell them to what. See, here's the thing: you can email it. Most of the time, you can email it. Okay, and if you think lead will not respond, or it's a big issue, you think it's a big issue, you have to put CC your boss. Okay, without putting CC or your boss, first thing is you have to communicate with the leads. But if you think it's really big issue, you have to CC. Otherwise, always you have to you don't have to put CC every time, but you think if it's a big issue and major impact, then you have to. Okay, you have to CC your boss. Okay. So once you found, let's say once you found some issue and you email it, and your lead responded saying that okay, this is a defect. Yeah, you can open a defect. So what you have to do is go here, defect section, and we'll just open a defect here to see. Okay, so let's say let's open a defect here. Let's take an example as previous case, shipping and handling fee. Okay. So here this is the issue, right? So what I'll do is put as, you have to know the naming convention. Okay. That is few lines, one few words on shipping and handling fee, and what is the project about, you want to write the project name, and if it is a critical, then you want to put as critical production issue. Okay, otherwise you don't have to use this one. This one is for your information, but click and add with details. Okay, so here's the thing: you have to write some information, okay, on what the issue is and the project name, And this one you don't have to use it. This I'm using here, but you can use if you are opening a production issue or some issue which you think that it has to be, get more attention, then you want to use this. That's like, writing that production issue, or you can use it critical issue. Okay, just like that. But otherwise, you don't have to use it. Okay, so here once you do this, let's go one by one here. So defect state should be always in open state unless you are working on future project and which is project is not released yet, it's not ready in test environment, you are not doing anything. Okay, other than that, you have to put as open status. Okay, now, okay, so this might be very small to see here. Okay, this might be very small, just submit it, doesn't matter. Thing is, developer won't respond. So once you put it submitted and click, they won't respond it. If they don't respond, let's say let's take an example here how this thing can get into big trouble. Okay, so let's say you put the submitted status and you forgot about it, and you assign developer, all is good, but developer didn't respond and you didn't care, and it's been like 2 weeks and you don't know about this defect, you completely forgot about this defect, and you get a call from your boss and, hey, can you stop by at my desk? Okay, once your boss reviews it and asks you a simple question that why this defect is submitted status, why not in open status? It's a good question, right? Your boss will directly ask you why it is in submitted status, why not in open status. Now you will not have any answers. You cannot say, I forgot, being experienced, being, a professional guy, you cannot say, I forgot, I didn't remember it, you cannot use such kind of language, okay? So, I have to make sure it should be always in open. Unless specified by the lead or your boss, you have to always put in open status, okay? So make sure because the developer won't respond, you have to follow up with the developers, okay? And scheduled state, so read progress. And status ready. If it is block, if your defect, you're blocking the defect, then you need to have some really good reason to block why this defect is blocked. Okay, you have to check with the developer, say no, defect is not ready, or no, developer is not working or something. Okay, and you have to really specify some really good reason. Otherwise, you cannot block it. Now, plan estimation and task estimation is the job of a developer. Okay, because the owner of defect is always a developer, not a tester. So you are assigning the owner to the developer. Okay, so here's the thing, here's the owner, you put owner. Okay, put this owner, and okay, this is working same project, so don't change the parent. If you're changing this parent, again this will screw up everything. Okay, you have to also link with the test case. You can link with the test case. Which test case does it belong to? So let's see here. Let's say I put to this my test case. And done. So here now I know which defect does it belongs to. Notice, let's say you're writing plenty of test cases and it found this defect in let's say Chrome browser. Okay, Mozilla found you're testing with Firefox, you're testing with Chrome, Safari. Okay, Microsoft Edge. You might find a different issue for a different browser. In that case, you want to specify this test case, which really this defect belongs to which test case. Okay, let's say this was Chrome browser, so I'm clicking on the Chrome test case. Okay, thing, and so here, let's write some description. Okay, so you know what, I'm writing this when I'm trying to add a large quantity, shipping and handling fees showing as $5. Now this is not enough. Okay, now developer will understand by just saying this. Okay, because developers will be working in large, so many projects. Okay, they won't get what I'm talking about. Okay, so screenshot, you have to always put a screenshot. Okay, image is worth 1,000 words, right? So that's how you have to put it. So what you want to do is please see the okay. You want to put the screenshot here. So this is good. Rally is good. It allows you to take attach screenshot on this description itself. Let's see here. So let's this is just take a screenshot and so you can use Paint or it's up to you. And I also want to highlight it where exactly the defect is, because once you highlight it, that will be much more easy for everyone. Okay, so you cannot just you want to always use the screenshot, because if developer doesn't get it, then you'll get a call from your boss again. Okay, why didn't give the information properly? Information should be very accurate. Okay, then let's put it here. Okay, so let's see here. So somebody asked, right? So what is when should be in submitted status? It should. I mean, there's no reason to be in submitted status unless you're working in future projects. Okay, future project, you found some issue in the documents. Let's say you found some issue in the documents which you are not even assigned to the project, but you think that that should be an issue. In that case, you want to put submitted, and you don't want to put it open. It's just submitted and it's not ready. That means it's just not ready. But you have just opened for a heads up. That might be an issue in future. Okay, so something like that, or unless specified by your lead. Okay. Other than that, you are not using submission status. Okay. Or there are maybe other reasons too. But of course, obviously, you don't want to put submitted status for which you are working on current project. Okay. Yes, mostly it will be in open status. Okay. So here, this is the defect: shipping and handling. So I'm highlighting this because want to be very, you have to be very careful with the developer. Okay, if the developer doesn't understand, you complain to your boss, and your boss gets, you call you. So what's up with this? Why you are not, giving information to the developer? Okay, so make sure it don't happen that. So in that case, you want to put it the information you have to put it very clear here. Okay, so that you don't want to mess up with anything. Okay, so once you have done that, you have to fill up all this information here. It's a lot of forms, right? Here you see this lot of forms. You have to fill up this. So let's see here. We'll go through one by one. So environment, as I told you, there might be different environments you might be working. Can be development, test, staging, production. So in this scenario, we'll go to test. And there's something called priority and severity. Okay, so here so what is the severity? Severity is more related to QA point of view, and severity is the impact of bug. Okay, so because of this bug, so you're not able to complete your test case, or your test case are stopped. So that's called severity, the impact of bug. And priority is like you telling developer how soon it should be fixed. Okay, Priority is how soon the defects should be fixed. Okay, that's what the priority is. Okay, so here normally, so you have this option here. So let's go one by one. So normally it goes with, so this is called SEV. Okay, in short it's called SEV. SEV means severity. SEV 1, SEV 2, SEV 3, SEV 4. Okay, SEV 4 is the least problem. So let's go to this cosmetic issue. Okay, let's say you found some cosmetic issue. Cosmetic issue, for example, there's a spelling mistake here. Okay, and this is a green color, it should be blue color. Okay, this black color, white color. So those are all called cosmetic issues. So in that case, you want to open as a cosmetic. Okay, and what the priority will be putting for that is low, because this is the least priority. This doesn't affect any system, or this doesn't affect most of the things. So that's what, okay, the severities. Now let's go to a minor problem. So minor problem is something like just like you opened a defect, right? So let's say this one. This is a minor problem. We found some defect which is shipping and handling. Okay, so that's a minor problem. There is something called major problem. Okay, so the major problem is something you cannot move forward, right? Let's say you are clicking this button. When you're clicking this button, let's say, okay, now you suddenly found this page. Okay, when you have to click that button, you have to navigate that URL, but it's showing something else. This is the computer, and you are blocked completely. Your test cases cannot be executed. Now that's a major problem. Okay, that's a major problem, and you want to put as major problem because you're not able to move forward with your test cases, and you're blocked completely. Okay, and then you have this data crash or data loss. Okay, so this is also similar to this. You can take this also as crash or data loss. Or if you're working in production system and showing something like this, then that's a really big issue. So you have to put as production systems and all other things. You have to put as crash or data loss. Okay. Again, this goes parallelly with this. Let's say if you put cosmetic and you have to put as low, and if severity, if it's minor problem, you want to put as normal. Okay. Now you cannot put cosmetic and put here resolve immediately. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Even if you put it, though somebody will change it, and somebody will be at your desk, because this gets reviewed by the manager. Okay, the manager reviews it, and they will really see this. Why is the resolve immediately? There is no reason for you to put cosmetic issue and put resolve immediately. It has to be low. Okay. Yes, severity is, as a tester point of view, and priority is the developer point of view to how to, severity is impact of bug, what the way it is impacting your testing process. Priority is how soon developer has to fix it. Okay, that's what you're telling priority. Okay. So here we'll just put a minor problem and go to normal. Okay, just make sure you guys remember it. Okay, it normally goes parallelly unless if it is crash or data loss, you want to put as resolve immediately or high tension. You can do it either way. So crashing well normally it's resolved immediately. But if it is major problem, then it's resolved immediately or high tension because you can use it. But other than that, if you are putting as cosmetic and putting high attention, or as a matter of fact normal, this is not correct. Okay, you cannot do that. Because developers will be working a lot of projects and they would not be working with, for cosmetic issue, they would not even care about it. So make sure you put the least as low. Okay. And these are, these are disabled, but if it is enabled, then you have to put all the information here. Build, found in build, you can put found in build if you know it. If you don't know it, you have to check with your lead, or if it's not important, they might not even worry about it. Fixed in build is done by the developer, not you, not lead, anyone. Fixed because this is fixed, right? Okay, and once it's fixed, it has to be done by the developer. target build, verified in build. Okay, this again has to be filled by developer or lead. Someone else will be doing. And resolution. So once this is fixed, or developer comes with a judgment like what it has to be done with the defect, then the developer will put some information here. Just like it's the architecture, or sometimes if you're lucky enough, you might open some defect which is really not related to. Let's say you open defect, but it's not related to web development. It's some ETL issue. Okay, now but you have assigned some web developer there. So now web developer will not worry about it. Will directly reject this defect. It's saying it's not my problem. Okay, I'm not an ETL developer. I'm a web developer, so I don't bother about it. So they'll just reject it, not a defect. Okay. So in that case, you have to work with some other guy, and you have to check with it and assign the defect appropriately. Because if this is going to wrong person, they will just reject it outright. They'll not care. If you're lucky enough, they will reroute it if they know who is the developer there, and they will just put the information, okay, and reroute it. But most of the time, doesn't happen. So you have to make sure you are assigning the right person to this. Okay, if you're not assigning the right person, then you get rejected for sure. Okay, now if let's say the leads or whoever is responsible will put this information here. Is it architect issue, or code change, configuration change, a database change, or duplicates? So they can reject your defect saying you duplicate. Need more information. So if you put all the documents right, if you put a screenshot, put all information appropriately, then you will not have this problem. But if you are not doing it, of course you get this. It gets rejected and say need more information. And sometimes, as I told you, you have to always check with your lead. Sometimes it's not a defect. Okay, so they will reject it. It's not defect. Okay, software limitation and user interface. Okay, so this is done by the dev guys. So we don't fill it, but yeah, this is what information you will get once you put the defect. Okay. Now target date. We know target date. That's 22nd. Okay. Release notes. If you have release notes, you can put release notes. Okay. Release notes is like, okay, maybe yeah, you might not be putting, developer will be using it. Resolution is always made by the developer because they are resolving, right? I mean, this QA, you are not resolving any defect. Resolution is always done by the developers. So most probably it will be done by the lead, dev lead, because once they, developer or the person who have fixed that issue can also put it, but once it gets reviewed by dev lead and dev manager, so what's happening with this defect, they will, put the resolution. What was actually the resolution? Okay. Release notes. Release notes is like a patch. Okay, so if you are putting patches, what are the defects it has been fixed? What are the new features it has been, added? So in that case, so normally this is not a QA job. They will be putting it. Affects documentation. So this is where you have to. Okay, I'm just muting everyone. If anyone has any questions, they can unmute their mic. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So as I told you, right? So that is the defect. See, showstopper is something which is in a high priority bug. Okay, if it's like if you go here severity, whenever it's data class, that will be a showstopper. Okay, that's called showstopper, and you cannot move forward, and a lot of people are blocked in that. Okay, this for example is production issues. Production issues are showstopper because you don't want to mess with customers' data, right? So that will get high attention. Okay, let's move to the next one. Affects documentation. So let's say because of the defect, does it affect documents or not? That means should documents have to be changed because of the defect or not? Okay, So in that case, you want to put yes or no. Because sometimes the defect might not be any developer point of view, but it might be a document issue. Okay, it can be a document. So just you want to make sure even if you want put documentation. So once you fill up all this information, and this Salesforce case ID, so this is really not required unless you are working with CRM. Salesforce is CRM, and if they have any issues with the CRM issues, then this normally if you can put it, but it's really not required. Okay, unless you're working with the CRM, so Salesforce CRM. Okay. Now once you have done that, now attachment, you can put attachment here too, and click on create. Okay. So okay, so this was not accepting a star value, so that's the reason. So they have actually changed completely. So before they were accepting it, now they are not accepting that. So that's the reason they had some issue. Okay, here you can put the tags. Tags, put it. Okay, and now we have successfully created defect. Okay, let's close it. Okay, so here you see this the new ID is generated, DE461. If you hover your mouse, all this information shows up here too. Okay, and this name, what the user story it is related to, what is severity, priorities, all these things will be shown up here. So that's how you can open a defect in Rally. Not just Rally, in any tool you can open it, but this is just an example how you open in Rally. Any questions so far? Okay, so no questions. We'll just move to the next topic. Okay. So I'll be giving you homework on defects. Just make sure you open few defects based on okay. So some people have already put as failed, right? It's an error or failed. For that you can open defects. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So let's talk about this reports. Okay. So there are reports. Again, make sure don't delete anything, don't rename anything. User story. It's not your job to do anything with the user story. You can do with your test cases. That's fine. Okay. And at the end of the day, you are responsible for what you have done. Okay. And even if you are messing up with test case, your boss will catch you up. There is no reason to hide. If you see here, this right away shows up who is the author for this and who has done what. Okay, so there is no reason you can escape from it. Okay, the boss will catch you right away, and it will be a bigger issue if you are messing up with user story. You cannot do anything with the user story. Okay. Yeah, so somebody asked a question, right? So in the test case, yes, you can only open defects for the failed test case. If it is a passed, if the defect is passed, then you don't have to open defect. Okay. You're failing test case for a reason, right? So that's the reason you're opening defects. Okay, that's how you want to open defects. If it is passed, the test case is passed, you don't have to open defect. Okay, so let's go to the report section pretty quick here. So there are two kinds of reports. So this is more related to, you know, yeah, everyone has access to the user story. So yeah, you will be having access, only read-only access. So in real time, you'll be having read-only access. If you cannot do anything with user stories, okay? Okay, so there are reports here. There are two kinds of reports. One is project level report that is handled by the actually Scrum Master, and there is team level reports which is access, which is handled by the manager. Okay, so let's discuss first project level reports. Okay, so if you see here, there are a lot of reports here, right? Iteration burn down. So it's normally all in the agile. So these are on the agile, so there will be, all these are, reports. Iteration burn down, iteration burn up, velocity. So let's check here one of the reports. So there's throughput, defects, and let's go to defects by state. This should be easy. Okay, so this is the report generated. So this is automatic. Okay, you are not doing anything to generate the report. Okay, so this is the report. You get, that means showing up how many defects have been opened in this amount of time. Okay, this is like from November to December, how many defects were opened. So this shows and how many were fixed. Okay, these are submitted and how many were fixed. Okay, so if there is a fix, the number also will be there in. So this is what, once you get this report, what you can do is you have to submit. Let's say this is for more related to senior level, senior QA or dev point of view. Okay, as a QA tester, you will not be doing more into reports on this one, but if you are a senior guy in the lead, okay, you have to work with your team members to get this report done. Okay, once this report is ready, what you have to, let's say your boss said to send the email the report. Okay, so what you can do is go to page tools, which is located in right upper corner, and click on email, and let's say just put email. Then you have the option here, embed in email or attach as PDF. So I'll just put as embed in email. You can add CC if you want to add CC. Once you do it, click on send. So now this is good. Okay, so the message is queued. Now this directly will be sending an email, okay, to the person. So let's say your boss, you are sending this report to the boss. So this is how you can send the report. Okay, so that is one. But no, it's not necessarily defect. You have a lot of options here, right? Story burn up, story burn down, cumulative. It's a lot of. Let's say there are some reports which is not there here. Okay. Okay. So sometimes it might happen with the reports which are not here. And what you want to do is you can customize your own report. Let's say if you want to click here, add new. Okay. Once you add new, I want to select which kind, what data you want to see, what kind of data. Okay, and you can add a number of here. Okay, so plus 3, 4, 5. And how do you want to broken down? Is it blogged? Is it creation date or environment? What kind of environment you're looking for? All this you can add. Okay, so we will use up all this whatever information it has. And filters. Do you want to add some filters? Okay, like you don't want some of the fields which is not available or something, and run the report. So you will be getting a report based on this. So this is a custom report, which is, let's say it is not available here. It is not available here. You can use this custom report. So this option is not available for all the tools, but Rally provides really good options. For Jira, it has limited options. Okay, the reports will be there, of course, for Jira tool or any other tool, but Rally provides a really good options, and they also allow you to create your own custom report like this. But not all tools have that option. Okay. So any questions so far in the report? So these are normally the project project level reports. Okay, so somebody asked, right? So you have access to most of this. Okay, you have access to user stories. You have access to test cases. Most of things you have access. Okay, only thing you won't have admin access. Okay, you cannot delete users. Okay, so those are admin access, and you also don't have super admin access. That is, you cannot delete projects. You cannot delete anyone else. Okay, so that's how it works. So somebody asked, right? So what is CHL? Central is Rally? No. So Rally is a tool from CA Technologies. CA Technologies is a company. Okay, Rally is just a tool. Rally is a test management tool. And Agile is a methodology. That means it's a framework that you have to work in. Okay, all these things are different. Okay, CA Technologies is a company. Rally is a tool. Agile is an environment. Okay, what environment you are going to work. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, so here let's go to here. Let's see pretty quick here about. Oh, I hope I understand. Got email. Let's see. Oh, I didn't get that email. See, normally that's what it happens, right? Whenever you send that email, it not it doesn't deliver immediately. But yeah, normally it goes to email. It has to be maybe to reach a little later. But okay, so here let's go back here. So this is a user story. We have nothing to do with the user story. Let's say you want to. Let's say your lead. Your boss asked to document what people are doing. Okay. So the difference between the environment is, somebody asked, right, what is the difference between environment and instance? So environment is something which is that's actually it's a different, the way it is done is a little bit different. Okay, if you're looking for like something which is you're working on, so environment is something which is a framework. Okay, it's a framework where everyone has to do. Instant is something which is related to application point of view. Okay, it's nothing to do with the environment. Okay, and instances are more related to when you're working as an admin point of view. Okay, so those are more, it makes more sense at that level, not as a QA point of view. QA point of view don't have many of instances. Okay, but if you're working on admin point of view, then you'll be knowing about instances. A lot of things will be done with that. Okay. Okay. So here, let's let's say I want to your boss told you to generate a report. So report on how the people are doing. Let's say how the team is performing, how they're working on. So what you have to do is go to the action. So here you don't have action to email. Okay. So unfortunately, you don't have option to email. So if you are using Chrome, you're in luck. So go to here, print report. Okay, and once you see this, you can leave this as a default, or if you know anything related to it, you can use that and click on print. Once you click on print, then all this will be shown up here. So who is doing what, how many test cases everyone has written, all this shows up. Okay, everything is shown up here, and you just go ahead and click on print. And once this is done, you can organize here. How do you want? Just put it here. Okay, that's what it's good. So you can see here what how it applies to you. Okay, and I'll remove this. Okay, just put it this way. And click on save. Report. You do this. So you don't have to generate report once you have done task. Only report is required when your boss tells you to do it. Otherwise, you are not responsible guy to do the reports. Reports are done by the lead. They will be responsible to view the team. Okay, so not as a QA tester. Okay, just for your information. This is if you happen to go as a lead, or if you happen to if your boss says this kind of work, then you can do it. Otherwise, you're not supposed to do anything. Okay. So here, if you see this, all of the everyone's information is here. Who has written it? Who is doing it? What? All the information just goes directly to the boss. I mean, this is really not required. Okay, really not required because your boss has access to this tool. They will just look into here. Here is it. Okay, so it's really not required as report. But either way, if something is there, you really let's say they don't have access on it, or they don't have access level, all those things. In that case, you want to send this report. So this is all the team level reports, who is doing and how they are writing the test cases. Everything will be noticed. Okay, and they'll monitor you all this based on this. Okay, how you're writing and what you're writing and how many. And let's see, even if you're documented, where is the documents here? So you will see that. Let's say you have open defects. You can see here all the documents. Okay, see here, result. See this? They can really view this result. So they will see what documents are doing, and they will be look into it, what you're trying to do. Okay. So this is, and you can send it through email. Normally, just report. Send it through email. You can send it. That is one way. Okay, so these are about test cases, and the similar way you can do with the defects too. Okay, so let's go to, let's see here. So nobody has actually opened good defects. So we'll see here. But let's go to the different product. This should be good. Okay, good. So if you see here 10 defects, so that's how they say it. Okay. So the 10 defects, that's a good. So they want to look into it. So what's actually the issue is that so many people are opening defects. So once you say this one, these are 10 defects. Now here you see this option. You don't have really too many options to do this. Okay, if you want to import it, you have the option of exporting to CSV. Okay, CSV means comma separated value and can be opened Excel. Okay, or you can print it as a case. So this is good. You can import it as CSV. Click on this. Let's see here. Okay, so this shows all the information: who is working, who has open defect, what is the defect ID, okay, and what exactly the defect is all about. Okay, so here is the name. Okay, so everyone's name. So it's really not required. Owner is actually shows here, owner and submitted by. So they'll be knowing who is submitted it and who is working on it. Okay, and what exactly the user story does it belongs to, and what is the severities, all these things. Okay, and this gets straight to the email to the boss. Okay, so they will be looking at, so what are the various defects. Okay, and let's say some defects are fixed and some are really not required, so you can use Excel. Let's say this is fixed. Okay, so here you will do is to select this and just strike through. So that means you're not worrying about the defect. Okay, and that's how you can do with this other two. Okay, that means it's fixed and not worrying about it. So this is an option when to export. So this, you can export this to through CSV. CSV is a, you can also print it, but you really cannot edit in this. Okay, let's say you can save it as, let's say here. Okay, print. So this is how you can print it. Okay, so all the defects will be showing up here, but really you don't have this option. If the defect is fixed, you cannot strike here or you cannot manipulate anything. Here you can do is, that means okay, this defect is not required, we're not working on it, or it has moved to the different team, or it has moved to the different iteration, or it has moved to the next release. All this you can move, you can make edit to this, and you can submit to the boss. Okay, any questions so far? So here you can also import, let's say you have defects which has to be put into Rally. Okay, and now that's really don't require most of time. Okay, unless it's a typical project or you want to require it. That means you are importing the defects which are open through Excel or some other tool, and you want to put it here. And this is because you have like thousands of defects, okay, thousands of data which has to be updated entirely, so that you want to import it. You want to import all the defects here. Okay, so you can use that one, because thousands, if you have like any like thousand or more than thousand, you cannot keep opening defect one after the other, right? It takes a lot of time, and it's really not a good idea to write this defect here because it takes a lot of time and it uses most of your, most of your time actually. So they will, not let you to write thousands of. So in that case, you want to import the data which is here, and all the defects will be updated here. That's an option for only defects. You don't have an option to see your test case. In test case, you don't have an option to import. Okay, they don't have that functionality, but you can have for defects. So you can also view your graphs. All this. So this is a test runs. Okay, you can also view here. You can also have this charts. Here you can also see the chart here. This is a story burn down chart. Okay, but if you want more detail, of course, you want to go to the reports and see what is as per the is it burn down chart, is it burn up chart, or is it throughput. All this you can get in report. But here it doesn't show many reports, so it's just as a sample, kind of sample, but just a story burn down. That's it. Doesn't show all the reports. And you have dependencies. You can add dependencies. So this is not required. So this is dependency means you can only complete your work unless and until that work is completed. Something like that. Let's say defect. Okay. There's one defect, which you can open it, but there's another defect related to that. That means if that defect is fixed, this defect is fixed automatically. So that's what comes by dependency. That means it's dependent on that. Okay. That's just an example. It can happen to any others. It can be test cases, it can be defects, it can be anything. Application performance, application issues, all those things. Okay. And these revisions, you can see who is doing what. Okay. Just like somebody, move this user studies, this even shows up here. Who is done at what time, they can all look at it here. And there's any discussions you can also do. This is really not used by many people, but still you can also, add it here. If you have any issues or you're working on something, you can post it in discussion page. Okay. So any questions so far? So I'll be giving you homework on this. Okay. Make sure. Okay, and just make sure don't delete anything. Okay, don't delete or don't move any user story. Not your job to do all this. Okay, you cannot move anyone's user story. Okay, because it will be, if somebody is trying to do homework, it will cause problem for them. Okay. So here it will just cause a problem, but at workplace it's more than a problem. Okay. So just make sure you don't do it either way. Actually, I am not, I am actually the administrator for this rally. So I have given access to most of things. I have not blocked anyone. Most of them you'll be having access except administrative access. Administrative and super administrator, you don't have access. That means what is administrator and super administrator means? You cannot delete projects. Okay, try deleting projects. You cannot. So these are the projects. These are accessed by administrator. You can delete user story, because I can even block that, no big deal. Okay, but you shouldn't do that. Okay, I mean, I don't know even if there is a feature. There might be a feature, or I can request that, but you're not supposed to do that. Okay, and you cannot delete any projects, and you cannot delete any users. Okay, so that is a user, a project, a super administrator, and people. If you are deleting, removing people, okay, is administrator job. Okay. Any more questions? Oh, so let's see here. They're supposed to have two people, actually, two or three people. So one is not showing up. Where is it? Oh. Okay, so yeah. So if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.